All right, here we go with another life tip here with Coach Paulie Barra. Thank you so much for dropping me reviews. Thank you for sharing out, and thank you for tapping on that subscribe button here on Apple Podcast. And remember, I am also on Audible, so if you are an Audible listener, you can also go to Audible and type in the search bar your life tips with Coach Paul and follow that mug. All right, so here we go with life tip number 34. This one's kind of funny, but it's really, really deep because today I'm going to get real spiritual on you and bring up a story in the Bible. So it says, grab your junk and take a walk. Now, some of you might replace that word junk with something else, like shift. Grab your shift and take a walk. Listen, there's a story in the Bible. There's this guy that was, they claimed him to be crippled, and there was this pool back in the day, in the biblical days, where you can go down and the angel of the Lord would stir up the waters, and there was healing in that pool. And this guy showed up for, I believe, 37 years. And Jesus came on the scene. Jesus walks up to him, and the Bible says that Jesus knew what his condition was for that long. That goes to show that Jesus himself is God. Jesus is all-knowing. He's not just sweet baby Jesus from Talladega Nights, right? So here's truth. He walks up, and I mean, this is Jesus. He was already creating miracles. People's eyes were being popped open. They were no longer blind. Ears were being popped open to hear. I mean, all kinds of rock star stuff was going on. Jesus could have easily been like, yo, I am the Messiah. I am Jesus Christ. I heal you, my son. No. Jesus walks up and says, hey, do you want to be made whole? Do you want to get well? Do you want to get better? And the guy responded so crazy. This guy responded with this. Yeah, but come on, man. Seriously? I'd have been like, yeah, what you got? Or would I have? But this guy answers and he says, yeah, but every time I want to get in the pool, someone else goes before me. And I don't have anyone to help me in the pool. So woe is me. I come every year and oh my God, I don't have my healing. So it got me thinking one day. And I really started praying like, Lord, what does this really mean? If this guy was crippled, if this guy is dealing with his stuff, then how is he showing up for 38 years? And I started looking at the subheading of the Bible of that passage, and it said the man with a spirit of infirmity. So then I start reading, see, because it's been preached for so long, the guy was a cripple and he got healed. No, the Bible says that he had a spirit of infirmity. What does that mean? You can have a spirit of anger, where you're constantly angry, a spirit of bitterness, a spirit of rejection, a spirit of fear. This guy had a spirit of infirmity. Now, what does that mean? That means he had already set his mind to be crippled. He had already set his mind and his heart to be crippled. So when you look at it, the spirit becomes crippled. The Bible also said that this man was surrounded by lame, blind, mute, and deaf. Never once did it say the man was crippled. And see, this is how bad Jesus is. Jesus heard the guy and said, okay. Jesus didn't say, I thou heal you, soneth of mineth. No, Jesus said, okay, grab your mat and walk. Pick up your mat and walk. Pick up your junk and walk. What does that mean in the spirit? Take whatever you're dealing with, my friend. There's some times where you just got to get up and keep moving and get away from the people that you surround yourself with that are bringing you down, that make you think that you are a certain way. So once he got up, he walked off, he was fine. So what's the moral? Ask yourself that question. Where am I at today that I feel like I'm crippled? Who am I surrounding myself with? Who is speaking into my life? Listen, if this podcast doesn't help you, if this podcast doesn't edify you, if this podcast doesn't lift you up in positivity, then stop listening to it. I'm serious. If this doesn't bring you value, then don't listen to it. But if it does, then continue to listen to it. What do I mean by all that? I would rather you not listen to something that I'm saying because it's not adding to your life than for you just to cling to it because it's something to do. You see, this guy was just clinging to the people around him because it was somewhere for him to go. And the other question that came into my mind was this: if you didn't have anyone to put you in the pool, if you didn't have anyone to get you in the water, how did he get there? He might have crawled. He might just be sleeping close by. But he got there. So many times you will get to a place in your life where you've worked so hard to get there and you're sitting there and the promise is right in front of you. And you still don't do everything in your power to get it. That tells me that you just may be a little bit afraid of healing or success. You just may be that afraid of it. Blows my mind. It blows my mind. It's no longer time for you to wait for success to happen. You got to take your jump and walk. I want to thank you once again for tuning in to Your Life Tips with Coach Paul. If this podcast has brought value to your life, hit that subscribe button, my friend, and drop me a review if you haven't already. And just a reminder, you can catch my latest live tips on facebook.com/Coach Paul Ibarra, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time every weekday morning. And if you or anyone needs help in any area that you have heard me touch on, I am here to serve you, my friend. Visit my website, setfreelife.net, to schedule a free call with me, Coach Paul. So until we meet again, keep it moving and share some kindness with someone today. God bless.